bringing it back. Use of the Beauts. All right, what's going on, everybody? Producer Fred loves the intro.
Yeah,
He
it's
is
his favorite part.
favorite part easily. I'm shocked he hasn't cut it out yet, right? When he edits this, like he has every capability to do so.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it. But we are back with some solid questions this week, Alexis. I'm Jesse Pierce. She's Alexis Pearson. Let's dive into the questions from Beaut, Minneapolis. Love the name. He asks, how long before / do we see a Jost elevation, and where do you think he best slots in? Also, Beaut stands the Beauts. Love it. Love it. Beaut stands the Beauts. Yeah, in case you guys missed it, obviously Nico Sturm traded to the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for Tyson Jost, a first-round pick in 2016, former North Dakota guy. Great personality. He's colorblind. Yes, that was a big talking point when we met him. Elevation wise, I mean, I don't think it'll take too long. There's so many games coming up, right? He makes his debut against Boston. They have Chicago, and then this week you got the Golden Knights and
Vancouver.
Oh, Bruce. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think it'll take too long, because obviously you didn't sign him, I don't think, to just replace a Nico Sturm on the fourth line, right? So I think it's in part to maybe move Freddie Gaudreau down. Not that he's been playing bad, centering Boldy and Fiala, but maybe Tyson Jost is there. So I would guess this week you see him get elevated, at least in just to see what it looks like, right? Like I know Dean is very stubborn with his lines a lot of times, but again, you signed him, you're paying him $2 million. You got to see what he could do. That's not on the fourth line. Alexis, do you think you see it sooner rather than later?
I think there's two things to consider when talking about an elevation. One, a big reason I think the management wanted to bring in a guy like Tyson Jost is for the penalty kill, because the penalty kill has been struggling, and that is putting it nicely. So they desperately need some help there. I said in my Beauts breakdown, I think it was the other day, that like you could put me on the penalty kill and I don't think anybody would be phased. Like the numbers would literally be the same. They wouldn't be any worse. That's how bad it is right now. So I think if you get him some penalty kill time and he impresses you there, I think you see him getting more opportunities elsewhere. The other thing to consider is, and I hate to say it and knock on wood, but you could see injuries down the stretch here with, again, how many games they're playing. We're at this point in the season where these guys have been, we're almost at the end of the regular season. You're going to have some tired bodies, and you might see some injuries, especially as the games get tougher. I mean, look at a game like Boston where they're in each other's faces and it's a little bit more physical game. So in the case of an injury, that might be the kind of guy who then you step up and give him an opportunity to maybe have his chance and prove himself, on a higher line or in a better position. So I think those are the two things to consider. But to your point, I don't think the Wild will waste any time giving him his opportunities and seeing where he best fits, because with the new guy, a lot of the times you got to figure that out. You got to try different things. You don't know where he's going to, look good. He wasn't at training camp with this team. And so you kind of have to just do things on the fly. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing that this week as well. So
exactly.
All righty. Next question from Alicia on Instagram. Do you think, another Jost question here, do you think acquiring Jost will help us? He seems like a similar player to Nico. Jesse, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's necessarily a similar player to Nico, right? I think his opportunity in Colorado was limited. Again, they are so stacked everywhere. I think he has a little bit more offensive upside than Nico did. No slight to Nico, obviously, team Nico over here forever. But I think he has a little bit more offensive capability, a little bit more offensive skill, which, again, going back to our question we just answered, is why he could elevate. I think Nico probably is going to be a I don't want to say forever fourth liner, but that's just, it suits him, right? It's a good
especially
fit.
In Colorado.
Yes, right. Like, and I think Tyson Jost has an upside where he could be a third liner, maybe even a second liner if he picks it up and starts playing well. So I think it can't hurt, right? I mean, you're making the trade while the Minnesota Wild are struggling in a lot of different areas. His face-off percentage was 39% coming into Minnesota. So that obviously not ideal. But again, I think he'll get a better opportunity, and the hope is that he does shine here, right? A change of scenery, all of that good stuff. So I think Tyson will help. If anything, just give a jolt of energy to the Minnesota locker room over Nico. Love Nico, but He's going to go win a cup with Colorado. So that's fine.
Yeah. Hopefully not this year though. So I would say, I mean, both of them, to Alicia's point here, they're both averaging about 0.3 points per game. But Tyson has about 3 times as many games under his belt than Nico does. So yes, I see when people look at those numbers and they're thinking, okay, well, did we just trade? You know, is it just an even trade here? I mean, are we really getting
1 for 1, baby?
Good old 1 for 1 trade. But the thing that I will say, and you mentioned it as well, Jesse, is I do think Jost's ceiling is a lot higher.
Yeah.
And again, not that Nico didn't have talent, not that he didn't contribute and provide. Nico has played very well for the Wild for his role and what was asked of him in his time here. But I do think that Jost has the potential and the capability to reach a next level that we never saw from Nico. And I don't know if Nico has it in him to get to that level. So I think looking at it and saying, okay, yes, at this point in time, their numbers look very similar as far as averages go. But I think that Jost has the ability to really shine on this Minnesota Wild team, and especially for what the Wild need and some of the gaps that they have. I think that he could be an answer to some of those problems. So that's what I'll say about that. Obviously, we all hope it's an upgrade. That's the goal with trades. So we'll see. Too soon to tell, though. So next question.
Next question, sticking with the Central Division conversation as we are heading into playoffs. Dan B wants to know which Central Division playoff contender would you most want to see the Wild play in the first round of the playoffs? Alexis, let's go.
I used to love these questions and playing this game of like, who do I want to see? Who do I don't want to see? And now it just stresses me out because the older I get, the more I realize like, it really doesn't matter. You got to beat whoever you have to beat
everybody.
Right. Like, I don't care if you get matched up against the Blues, the Avalanche, the, Calgary Flames, like whoever, Flames aren't in our division, but I don't care who you get matched up against. You have to beat them. And sometimes I do think it's better to get some of those tougher teams out of the way right off the bat, get some of those juices flowing, that adrenaline flowing, get some confidence under your belt. And if you lose to a good team like that, then you weren't really that good, as good as you thought you were. So who do I want to see? I don't know. I think maybe if you're looking at teams who probably have the best chance of either staying in the playoff race or making it into the playoff race, I don't know, maybe the Predators. And I know the Wild haven't played great against the Predators this season, but here, listen, I don't want to play the Blues. The Blues, I've said this for so long. I don't know what it is. The Wild have struggled against them recently. For some reason, the Wild just cannot find a way to beat the Blues in the last couple of years. So I don't want to play them. I know the road to the cup is probably going to go through the Avalanche, but I really don't want to get stuck with them in the first round. So I guess that leaves me with the Predators. If Dallas finds a way into the playoffs, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe playing a team like Dallas. The Wild have had some fun games against them this season. I don't know if I could handle the mental strain of playing the Dallas Stars in the first round of the playoffs. I would maybe need, I don't know if that would be good for me. Vegas, they're not a divisional team though. Do we have to pick a Central Division team? Oh, that's
right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go Predators, and that might sound a little crazy, but that's my final answer. How about you, Jesse?
I mean, I'm on the side with you, right? Like you have to beat everybody. Like you can't, you're right. You want to get out of the first round and you want your best matchup there. I mean, I guess you actually, no, I'm going to take St. Louis. I'll go just to be different. I'm going to take St. Louis.
They don't play them well at all.
I know they play them terribly.
Stress and drama.
You know what? Nothing, but I feel like if you get out of the first round against St. Louis, you're golden. Like you have the confidence, right? Like, let's go St. Louis. Let's
picking the Wild to play St. Louis is like, that TikTok where it's like, am I the drama? I think I'm the drama. That's you. That's you.
Is this play about us? Yeah. Right. Like, yeah. No, do it. Yeah. Let's go St. Louis.
All right. Okay. So Preds in St. Louis. All right. Joel C. Speaking of the UND Fighting Hawks, as they're now called, with Tyson Jost, how upset are you going to be when UND wins the national championship again? My answer, very upset. UND fans are probably, I'm going to come for them real hard here, Jesse, so brace yourself. UND fans, hockey fans, are some of the most annoying fans on the planet, period, like just across all sports. And I know the reason for it. The reason for it is because Avery agrees with me. Look at her. Yeah, she agrees. She is wearing UND green right now, though. Look at that.
Yeah, she's still hungover from yesterday too, wearing her St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, too much milk yesterday, huh? UND fans, the reason I think they're so obnoxious is because they don't have anything else. Like they don't have any professional teams there. They don't have, like in Minnesota, we've got 4 professional men's teams. We've got a handful of professional women's teams. Like, we've got a lot of different things to cheer for. We've got other ways to put our fandom, you know, when one season is done, we've got another. UND only has UND hockey, and that's it. And so that's why they're annoying. So yes, if UND wins this year, I will be mad. Jesse, are you going to be as upset as me?
Obviously. And Joel C came for me, wanted to make a bet on
okay,
on UND and the Gophers, and I said I'll take that bet because I just, you know, anything against UND, they're just, you're right, they're fans are something else, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to alienate, I don't want to chirp UND
I do.
like I've done.
I am chirping them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1-star Alexis for her chirps on UND.
Yeah.
No, don't do it. I don't want UND to win any. I will take literally any team over UND. I will cheer for Wisconsin over UND.
Okay. I don't know about that. See,
I would do it.
That might be where I draw the line. You would take Wisconsin over UND?
Yes, 100%.
That's kind of a hot take.
Hockey,
I think I would take UND.
No.
Wow.
Oof,
you think you know somebody. Okay.
I know. And this is the start of the breakup between Alexis and Jesse.
This is where it all went downhill.
Final question from our Fab 5 folks. With their high 6 on 5 no goalie success rate, which has not been so successful
not lately
as of late, they want to know, why don't the Wild try randomly a couple times during the game? Has an NHL team ever experimented doing that? I mean, you know, the easy joke here is your goaltending sucks, so why not do a 6 on 5, right? I don't know that a team's ever done that, because that seems a little psychotic.
Yeah. When I saw this question, I was trying to think, I'm like, I wonder if anybody, I can see like a team back in like the 60s just trying this for the hell of it, but I guarantee you nobody has done this like in modern day hockey. This is the Chaos Queen speaking here. I do love the idea of this. I kind of want somebody to try it just for, like, you know, you've got like an offensive zone draw, and I want to see a team pull a goalie just for like 30 seconds. Like, maybe there's, you know, 30 seconds left in the period. You've already got like a 2-goal lead and you want to get it to 3. So we're going to pull the goalie with 30 seconds left and try to extend that lead. I'm here for the chaos of it all. And I agree. The Wild have been great on 6 on 5 this year. Not as much as of lately. They've given up some empty net goals. They've struggled to score on 6 on 5. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of it. Jesse, are you pro chaos or anti chaos?
I mean, at some point in time here, goal differential becomes a concern, right? So like, I've been talking about that when they're getting 2 empty net goals. Dallas scores twice. Like, you have to worry about that too. Like, goal differential, pulling the goal
scored 2 empty net goals.
Like, you gotta have that be considered. And again, I don't think it's been successful enough. I do love the chaos, but also as a writer, they're watching it, I'm like, no, just please. Like, there's nothing worse than being like, and so I have to change my score quick, like pain in the ass. So no, even
so
as bad
chaos. I see how it is.
Which is funny, because as much as I dislike the goaltending situation going on, like, keep him in there.
You would think you would be all for this.
I know. Not. That's going to do it for this week's Cues with the Beauts. In case you miss it, pop on over, check out this week's episode with Ryan Carter, who is one of the funniest guys I have ever met. The thing about Carts, though, you know what? This is what I figured out. He's just so quick. Like, I want to be quick. Like, I'll think of something 10 minutes later, and I was like, oh yeah, back to that
wait,
burn. Yeah. I got it. And I love it. So it was a fun episode. We talk a little bit more about trade deadlines. We talk a little bit about Kirill Kaprizov. All that good stuff. So thank you everybody for your questions. We'll be doing this every single week. Be sure to submit those before we record on Fridays. Best of love to you all. Peace, love, harmony.
Live, laugh, love. You know the drill.
Live, laugh, love. Have a right, Aves?
Yep, yeah, Aves. Right, Avery? Live, laugh, love. Yeah, you can't hear me because mom's got her headphones in.
Yeah. All right. Have a good week, guys. Bye.